Jai Sachidanand friends. Today we are going to be talking about Shivambu therapy, also known as auto-urine therapy, urine therapy, Svamutra chikitsa, etc. etc. But before watching this video, I would welcome you to read the legal disclaimer given in the beginning of the video. Friends, please understand, I am not an expert on Shivambu therapy, but past few months I have been doing a lot of research on Shivambu urine therapy. I have read a lot of books by authors like J.W. Armstrong, Jagdish Burani ji, Ashok Goyal ji. I have heard a lot of interviews by Kate Stillman, Brother Sage, Dr. Group, G.K. Thakkar, and based on all this, I have come to this understanding. It is basically using the urine for the purposes that you desire to achieve. So, urine is also known as blood plasma filtrate. So it is the filtration of your blood through the medium of kidneys that results into urine. Now, a question would come is, how do you do urine therapy or Shivambu therapy? It basically means that you consume the urine that you have taken out back into the body. So, which are the ways in which you can take the urine back in the body? The first method is drinking it. So, after you have taken out the urine, simply drink it. The second method is you apply it all over the body. The third method is you take it inside your rectum through the anal passage into the body. And the fourth method is taking the injections of the urine. Let us understand this in more details, each one of them. How much urine should you drink? And for the purposes of this video, we are going to call it Shivambu. So urine, when it comes outside the body, it is known as Shivambu. When the urine comes in contact with the atmosphere, it becomes Shivambu. So henceforth in this video, we will be saying it as Shivambu. Okay. So the first question is, how much Shivambu should you drink every day? The basic rule of thumb is your age multiplied by 10 ml is the quantity of Shivambu that you should be drinking. So for example, if my age is 62 years, then I should drink minimum 620 ml of Shivambu every day. It is also recommended that you don't drink Shivambu at one shot. You can stagger it out through the day. So, some Shivambu you can drink in the morning, some Shivambu you can drink in the afternoon, and some Shivambu you can drink in the evening. But your age multiplied by 10 ml is the minimal Shivambu that you should be drinking. In fact, I say Shivambu is one of the best medicines that you can have. So for me, I don't waste even one drop of Shivambu. What I do is, from 4 a.m. in the morning till 11 p.m. in the night, Whatever urine comes out of my body, I drink it back in form of Shivambu. The second method is topical application on the body. For that, there is a process which is called aging. Aging means take the urine and store it and allow it to mature. And after few days, you can use it for the purposes of topical application on the skin. So there are various opinions on how many days you should age or you should store the urine before you start applying it on the skin. So I basically follow a regime of 21 days. So the urine that has come out between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., I store it in a glass bottle. I cover it with lid or with cloth, and then I allow it to age. I allow it to sit for 21 days. After 21 days, the urine changes its color. It becomes from yellow, pale yellow to dark blackish, dark brownish. And after 21 days, I use it for topical application all over my skin. The third application is take the Shivambu from your anal path through your rectum in way of an enema. So Shivambu enema. Typically, I have not done it. I don't do it as of now. But typically, they recommend about 60 milliliter of Shivambu to be inserted through your anal path, through the rectum, inside your body. And the last method is taking the Shivambu injections. So these are the ways in which you can take Shivambu back into your body. Shivambu basically works at 3 levels. This is what I have understood by reading lots of books by eminent authors like J.W. Armstrong, Jagdish Burani, Ashok Goyal, G.K. Thakkar, and watching a lot of videos on the internet which are from Kate Stillman, Dr. Group, Brother Stage, etc. etc. So my understanding says that Shivambu works at 3 levels. At first level, there are a lot of hormones or antibodies or useful elements in your body which for some reason like contamination, pollution, wrong food, aging, viral load, viral attack. For some reason, these antibodies, these hormones, these useful elements become useless or become less efficient, less effective. And hence, the body throws it out in form of urine. So when these elements comes in contact with atmosphere, it becomes again very powerful. It purifies itself. Very similar to how the blood purification process happens. Through the medium of lungs and heart, the old or the bad blood is purified with the help of oxygen, and the new purified blood is again sent back into the body. So the way lungs and heart purifies the blood with the help of oxygen, the similar thing happens when you do Shivambu. The urine comes out of the body, comes in contact with atmosphere, and after it comes in contact with atmosphere, it purifies and it becomes pure again, and those elements become very useful back into the body. In fact, friends, I was talking to one of my friends on Shivambu therapy, and he said, "Oh, this Shivambu therapy is so wonderful. It's almost like having extra pair of lungs, an extra pair of heart again given back to you." Because the process of purification, the way lungs and hearts do it, the same process is almost replicated in Shivambu therapy. So the purification also happens through the medium of Shivambu, and it's almost like having an extra pair of lungs and extra pair of heart. So that's the first way in which I think Shivambu works. The second way in which Shivambu works is because the body has thrown out what was not needed or what was not essential or what's not good for the body. When you drink the Shivambu back, the body already has a knowledge of how to take those elements out of the body. And hence the body is in a much better position to remove that elements which the body no more requires. So the body becomes wiser enough once you drink Shivambu to take out the elements that the body is no more requiring. And the third way in which Shivambu works is it's also cleansing. There are elements like urea, uric acid, etc. in the Shivambu, which when taken in a very small quantity, it cleanses your body. So Shivambu works in three manners. One is it purifies the essential elements after it comes in contact with atmosphere and then becomes again useful. Second, the body becomes more intelligent, more aware, more knowledgeable as to how to throw out the elements that it does not require. And third is it has cleansing effects. So these are the ways in which, in my opinion, Shivambu would be useful. By now you would have understood that Shivambu is not a waste material or is not something that the body has rejected, but after it comes in contact with atmosphere, it becomes very useful back into the body. There is also one more dimension to Shivambu. Basically, the kidneys are not just throwing out what is not required by the body, but also the kidney is trying to balance the blood in the body. So whatever hormones or whatever elements or whatever items that are in excess or is not in the balance with the blood is taken out. So when you drink it back, and at that time if the body requires it, then the body is saved of making those essential hormones or essential elements again. So it's like giving them ready-made hormones or essential elements that the body required. In fact, there are lots of useful elements in Shivambu which is very beneficial for the health. Let me try and list out few of them. In fact, there are many more, but I am just trying to give you few of them here. The first one is anti-neoplastin. This element is extremely useful to combat the growth of cancer cells. Then we have DHEA. DHEA is a hormone which basically is precursor for testosterone and estrogen hormones in male and female body. This hormone is also very useful for immunity builder and for building the T cells in the body. Then we have uric acid. Uric acid is very useful for infection eradication and it serves as antibiotic as well. Then we have urea. Urea is very antibiotic in nature. It is very useful for viral diseases and is also very useful for skin conditions. Then we have nitrate. Nitrate is basically very useful for skin and it is also very useful to reverse the aging process. Then we have melatonin. Melatonin hormone is extremely useful for sleep, for our mood, for the energy levels in the body, serves as anti-anxiety, and it basically is very useful for functioning of pineal glands. Then we have urokinase. Urokinase basically is very useful in blood clots, useful for smooth blood circulation. Then we have gonadotropin, which is very useful for infertility. So I have just listed out very few of the elements which are present in our urine, which is very useful for our body. But there are many more. These were just the few of them. Alright friends, now let us take few questions which have come from various people regarding Shivambu therapy. The first question is, how much Shivambu should we drink? As I have already explained to you, your age multiplied by 10 ml is the minimal quantity of Shivambu that you should drink. But I would always say it's so precious, why waste even a single drop? So I don't waste even one drop. I consume whatever urine my body takes out between 4 a.m. and 11 p.m. The second question is, how do you age urine? Yeah, it's very simple. What you do is, what I particularly do is, the urine that comes out between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., I simply store it in a glass bottle, cover it with lid or cloth, and just allow it to sit, allow it to age. And I use it after 21 days. Okay, what does this process of aging do? Okay, that's another question which has come up. All right. If you see, there are roughly about 150 stem cells in human urine. But when you allow it to sit or when you allow it to age, then the stem cells multiply. And you will be very surprised to know that at the end of 21 days of allowing the urine to age, that the stem cells becomes as high as 150 million stem cells in about a liter of Shivambu. So the stem cells, when the urine is allowed to age, is multiplying and it becomes very big in numbers. Stem cells are very much required by the body for the purposes of repair and for the purposes of regeneration. So when you again apply it on the body, or when you again consume that aged urine or the evolved urine After 21 days, the stem cells are in huge numbers and is very, very beneficial back to the body. Okay, the next question is, if a person is on medication, can he do Shivambu therapy? Okay, uh, you have to understand one thing. When you will do Shivambu therapy, your need and dependency on the medication is going to change. But uh, I have read in various books and in various videos, it is said that you have to give 2 hours before and 2 hours after the medication for consuming Shivambu. So, if you have taken if you plan to take medication at say 8 a.m. in the morning, then you should not consume Shivambu between 6 a.m. in the morning till 10 a.m. in the morning. Okay, the next question is, if a person is suffering from cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy, can he do Shivambu therapy? One should not consume self Shivambu within period of 36 hours of chemo or till the time the Shivambu becomes normal, usual in color and taste, and in that period one can take Shivambu of any other healthy person. Okay, the next question. If a person is eating non-vegetarian food or fried food or junk food or potatoes, onions, garlic, can he do Shivambu therapy? Oh, of course. Once you start Shivambu therapy, your food orientation tends to change. So whatever you are eating right now, as known in Ayurveda, howsoever your food may be tamasic, start the urine therapy or Shivambu therapy, and slowly your food orientation from tamasic will become rajasic, and after rajasic it will become sattvic. So your food orientation will change after you start the Shivambu therapy. You yourself will have less desire, less cravings for food that is unhealthy for your body, and you will move towards pure and the food which is healthy for your body. So, assuming that you are right now consuming a lot of tamasic food, once you start Shivambu therapy, your orientation will shift to Rajasic food, and then from Rajasic food, it will shift to Sattvic food. Okay, the next question. It says, is there a connection between Shivambu and spirituality? Oh, wonderful. Uh, if you see, the spiritual experiences comes from, there is a role of pineal gland into your spiritual experiences. The pineal gland is basically situated 1.5 inch behind the third eye. So inside the third eye, 1.5 inches roughly inside the third eye. And the passage between the third eye and the pineal gland is conical. Now, because of faulty food habits, pollution, wrong thinking, etc., 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 this conical path gets calcified, and as a result, you are not able to experience the spirituality. So, you may understand spirituality in theory, but because the conical path to pineal gland is calcified, you are not able to experience the spirituality, the out of body experience, the Atma experience, or whatever name you may want to call it by. So, when you start Shivambu therapy, the calcification which has happened in that conical path to pineal gland starts to decalcify, and that path becomes clearer and clearer. As a result, you are able to not just understand spirituality, but you are also able to experience the spirituality in a much better manner. The next question is, what if the person is not able to void his own urine, or is able to void very little urine? How can he do Shivambu therapy? Well, the person who is not getting sufficient urine, what he can do is, in the initial stages, he can start drinking the urine Shivambu of another healthy person, preferably of the same gender. And slowly, he will start voiding more and more urine. He will start taking out more of his urine, which also he can start drinking, and that will give a good healing effect that will be very beneficial to him. The next question is, in case of infertility, can Shivambu therapy be useful? Yes, I have read it in various books. The husband and the wife, they can start drinking each other's Shivambu, and they can apply each other's Shivambu on the body. So a husband can start drinking the urine of the wife, and the wife can start drinking the urine of the husband, and apply it also all over the body, and it can be very useful. I remember, friends, when I was a child and I was in school and I was playing in the playground and I fell and I had a very bad bruise on my elbow, and the playground was very far away. So our teacher, he said, go to the washroom, take your urine and apply it on the wound. And I went in the washroom, I took the urine in my hands and I applied it where I was hurt. And I did that for about 2 days. And on the third day, that wound was healed. And I was very surprised with the powers that your own urine has. That was my first experience when I was a small child with urine therapy or Shivambu. So friends, Shivambu therapy, auto-urine therapy, Svamutra chikitsa is very useful in all diseases from A to Z, right from common cold to cancer, as mentioned in Sri Jagdish Bhurani's book or Dr. G.K. Thakkar's interviews. Shivambu therapy is beneficial in all the ailments, in all the diseases, right from A to Z. So Shivambu therapy will always be beneficial, whatever be your issues. So friends, I made this video based on my limited understanding of Shivambu. I hope it is useful to all of you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Jai Sachidanand.